And I'm going to just let you superstars take it over, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Maria, I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to play like MC on the backside. I'm going to let you run with the show. You run with it, girl.
Oh, it's so funny because, I mean, first of all, thank you guys for having or letting me do this, because I was originally just going to do this with my team. And Carlos, you know, being the leader that he is, he was like, hey, why don't you do it for the whole Daring Dream team? So I'm very, very happy that all you guys are here, and I hope that you will get some value out of what I'm going to share with you tonight. Now, let's see. I'm going to share my
and Maria, let me interject here. So guys, so here's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
So right now, you probably see, I don't know how you're looking at the screen. If you're just seeing Maria, that's totally fine, because that's really who you should be focused on, right? Because she's going to deliver a lot of value. If you want to change it so that you can see everybody, if you move your mouse in the upper right-hand corner, it'll either say speaker view or gallery view, right? So if you click up in the upper right-hand corner, you can switch it so you can see everybody, or you can click it on again just so you can see the person that's actually speaking at the time. All right. So I kind of recommend that you make it so that you can only see the person speaking, because what happens is, if you see everybody on there, all 16 pictures at one time, right, you start to focus on there and you're not focused on what Maria's teaching us. All right. So that's my recommendation to you, but it's up to you. You guys can do whatever you choose to do. Okay. All right, Maria, back to you. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, so what I've learned, first of all, I'll just give y'all a quick like background on me. I'm completely never done this before, completely new to network marketing, and I joined in October, and I'm just one of those people who just has to learn everything before I execute it. So I've been just soaking up all the knowledge that there is out there to find, and the number one thing that I think I've found is that growing your audience is super, super important because of the algorithm and everything with Facebook. What I learned, I don't know the exact statistics, but I know that, just for example, if you have 200 friends, you can count that only about 20 people are going to see whatever you post. So those numbers were crazy to me when I found that out. So basically, you know, you want to max out your friends list to 5,000. That way you guarantee that, you know, a couple hundred people are seeing your posts. If you have 5,000 friends, and it's really just like a game, because once you get to 5,000, you're going to constantly be recycling your friends anyway, because you want to get rid of like dead accounts, fake accounts, that kind of thing. Or just friends who just are of no value to you, that never interact with your post, or you know, never say anything. So so you want to continue like delete and add constantly, but the goal is to get to the 5,000. So I started out in October with 800 friends, and I'm now up to almost 2,900. So I'm getting there. But the other thing too is, when I first started adding friends, I was just going down my, where is it? Right here, where you go to find friends. You can go to friends lists, and you can just go and see, you know, like right here, you can see friends that you have in common and things like that. And I was just trying to add as many friends as I could that I had in common. Like if I had a lot of friends in common with someone, I would try to add them. Well, since then I've learned that you actually don't want to add people with a whole lot of friends in common. You want to add people that are completely new to you, that don't know you at all. They don't know your background, that you didn't go to school with them. You didn't, you know, you don't know them at all. You have 2 or 3 friends in common with them. And especially, I also try to look for people who don't have a whole lot of friends in common with HempWorks friends, because that means that they're already friends with those people, and I don't want to take that away from them. So if I see that we have a lot of HempWorks friends in common, then I won't add them. And so what I've been doing is, of course, you want to make sure that you're adding quality friends, not just anybody. And of course, I'm sure you guys have seen the trainings with Robert Hollis, where he tells you to go to groups, and that, you know, you comment on people's posts and you start building relationships that way and whatnot, which that's I've done that a lot, and it works. What I found is a whole lot of times with that, you just never know who you're getting, and they don't always respond. So this is my other way that I have found. I just go into groups, and I'm just gonna pick one of these groups, for example. I know there's one that's really worked out well for me, and it's this one. It's called Manifestation Babes.
Hey, Maria, so quick question. How did you get to that section, groups?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go from the beginning. Okay, so say you're on your this is your page where your news feed is. So you're gonna go. Actually, you can really go just up here and search just whatever one of your groups, whatever, and you want to join groups that you have interest in. Like if you like gardening, obviously you're going to join some gardening groups, or if you like fishing, you want to join fishing groups, or camping, whatever it is that you're into. My demographic, or the people that I'm looking for, are moms. So I like to go to like work at home moms groups and things like that. So I'm going to go to this groups right here. These are just right here where you click on groups, it just takes you to whatever groups you're already a part of. So then I'm going to go down here. These are the groups that I'm a part of. And the one I was going to show you is this one. It's called Manifestation Babes. And that's the other thing. If you're a woman, if you're like me, I just try to always be looking for female friends. I don't, I try not to add a whole lot of men. Just if they're guys that are part of HempWorks, of course, I add them. But you just never know, with creeps out there on Facebook land. So I try to just add women. Obviously, guys, I'm sure they can add other guys. And like I said, if they're a part of like a fishing group or networking group, whatever it is, you just go in there. And what I found is, as you guys probably know, you can go into any group, and there's this search box right here to the left, and you can search any word at all. Well, what I type in is friend. So if you type in friend right there, a lot of times you're going to see, for example, this right here, this lady has posted, need more positive people on my timeline. And she's gotten 110 comments on here of people, women, who are looking to make friends. Most of these women are already in network marketing. Most of them are, already into something, whether it's coaching or whatever. But as you see, all these people have put in add me, add me, add me everywhere. So these people are looking to get connected with other network marketers. So what I do is I just like their comment, and then I just send them a friend request. They're asking to be added. So I send them a friend request, and that's how I've grown most of, and you can see, you can also take a look at this right here. It tells you how many mutual friends you have, and a little bit about them. And you can usually tell just by their pictures and stuff, if they're fake or not. But most of the ones that I have encountered have been, good accounts. And yeah, and of course, you want to do this, depending, I would say is to start off, if you don't usually send out a lot of friend requests, then only do maybe like 10 or 20 a day, because sometimes Facebook will stop you or put you in jail or whatever for sending out too many friend requests. But as you build up more friends, Facebook kind of gives you a little bit more leadway. So I've honestly I've sent out requests probably like 100 a day, and Facebook has never made me stop. But I've heard of other people who have. So you just gotta like build your momentum or whatever you want to call it to that. But so that's, and like I said, I've tried a lot of different groups, and for the most part, I always find a post like this where somebody is already looking for friends. Now, if there's not one, then you make one. You know, say something creative like this. Say that you're just looking for positive people to you know, exchange ideas or whatever in your timeline, and add me. Now there's one post that I got like insane. See this one right here? It's gotten 500 comments. I actually took this and I used it in another group, and I got at least 400 friends out of that. And so what it is you just post this picture, and it says, make new girlfriends, post a selfie. Whoever likes it, add them. So right here, and then you just also copy this and post, you know, you copy this picture and save it on your phone or whatever. And then you also copy and paste this text to go with it. And then you'll be surprised the amount of people who just post their selfies. And then all you have to do is like their selfie, and they will send you a friend request if you've liked their photo. I don't know why it's taking so long to open, but I just wanted to show you guys. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, people will post their selfies, and as you see, you just like it, and then they'll send you a friend request. If you like their photo, they'll send you a friend request. So, and like, I mean, I'm not taking credit for any of this. This is just something I have found, you know, in these groups. I just think it's a quick and safe way of adding real people, because there's just way too many fake accounts out there that you'll receive if you just start adding random people. So that is one way of adding. And then of course, let me go back to the beginning so I can show you. Let's see, if you just go to your main account, you'll go to your friends. I apologize. I don't know why it's like taking so long. So for example, like right here, I can go to, when it shows my friends, I can go to recently added. So these are the people who I've just recently added. And I usually have a text already pre-made to kind of like start a conversation with them. So I think this is someone I have already started a conversation with. Let me see. So I will usually, sometimes they will initiate the conversation. But if they don't, then I do that. I'm sorry, let me see.
And Maria, what do you usually say in a conversation to start with?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys. Sorry. But it's basically like an introduction. I just say, hello, so and so, whatever their name is. Here we go. Okay, this is a new one that I just started talking to. A lot of times they'll initiate the conversation and they'll just say, hi, thank you for connecting. Okay, sorry, that was a bad one. Okay, this is a good one. So Devi, I just made friends with. So this is the short message that I sent. I said, hey, Devi, thanks for connecting. I'm 39, wife, stay-at-home mom of 2 girls, 18 and 10. I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I recently joined a network marketing company. I don't say who, and loving every minute of it. I am passionate about traveling, food, personal development, and helping people. Look forward to growing our friendship on Facebook and knowing you more. Have an amazing, blessed day. And they usually say something back. A lot of times they'll say, yes, I'm also in network marketing. What is your company? So they usually will ask me. This one, of course, just told me where she was from and all that stuff, and I just love it. And so that just opens up the dialogue. And eventually, you know, they'll start seeing my post. I start seeing their post. I'll like some of their stuff. I'll comment on their posts, and that's just how you guys know it's just building relationships. But this is another example. Same. I mean, I just basically copy and paste this like a little script, and most of the time they just return, you know, with something similar, letting me know what they do. I'm just trying to find one where we talked a little bit more in depth. Let me see. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, so this one, same thing. I sent that. She sent something back, letting me know what she does. And like, for example, this is one where she asked me, what company do you work for? So I put, my company is called My Daily Choice Hemp Works, CBD oils and hemp infused products that include coffee, pets, products. First network marketing company adventure, joined in October. And she said something about being from Ohio, so I just kind of said something about that. And of course, she's asking me, what kind of pet products do you offer? I'm always looking at fun stuff for my kitties. So that kind of opens up, again, a little bit of dialogue about the product. So I only sent this for now, but eventually I might say, hey, you know, you were interested in the pets products, here's the link, or something to that effect, where maybe I share a testimony about cats or something, since she's interested for her kitties. But yeah, I think you guys get the gist of it. But yeah, I always try to connect with them pretty soon after you make the connection of being friends. You don't want them to forget you. So you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, and like I said, don't say too much until they ask you. And then, oh, one more thing that I wanted to share is also, once you start this process of adding new friends, you definitely want to make sure that your page looks a certain way, because especially if you're going to go after these professional network marketers, like I said, I look at their pictures, so I know that they're looking at my picture to see if they want to add me or not. They want to make sure that I'm a real person. They don't want to see an ad. So like, a lot of people I know have like HempWorks all over their cover page or their profile page. I make sure you don't really see HempWorks anywhere until they ask, or if they have to scroll down a lot on my page to see anything about HempWorks. So make sure like in your bio, you have something, you know, describing yourself, what you are. If you like here, I just have Jesus above all else, happy wife, proud mom, whatever you want to put, just a little description about yourself here. Make sure your profile picture is a clear photo of your face. And then, you know, maybe like a motivational picture like this, or a lot of people put pictures of their family and their kids in the cover photo. But definitely I would recommend not to have anything HempWorks here. Just because that kind of gives it away. That kind of kills the curiosity for that person. If they see a friend request, they kind of already assume, oh, she just wants me to be her friend because she wants to sell me HempWorks. So you're kind of hurting yourself that way if you have that set as your picture. And then, of course, yeah, that's pretty much it as far as like the initial, because a lot of times people just go over your name like that and kind of look at this, and this is all they see before they make the decision whether they want to be your friend or not. So, and then, like I said, if they really want to know more about you, then they're going to scroll down more, and then they might see something about HempWorks or whatever. But as long as you don't look too spammy or too salesy, I think you have more of a chance to make connections a lot faster with people, if that makes any sense. And so, yeah, that's really my golden nuggets that I wanted to share. And like I said, it all goes off of the Robert Hollis way. It's, you know, finding people in groups, making connections, making genuine connections with people and talking to them and asking them questions, not us not being it, not being the thing, you know. And, you know, the more you post, the more they'll see your post. If you're connecting through Messenger, that it gives the algorithm more of a chance for them to see what you're posting. So that's why it's also so important to post regularly every single day without skipping any days. I try to do around 4 or 5 posts a day, working my way up to that. And also try to make your posts not so close together, like every couple of hours, like every 3 or 4 hours, make a new post, because that way you're not competing with your old post. And I think that's it. I don't know, Carlos, if you have anything to add or any questions.
Awesome.
Or if anybody has questions.
Yeah, no, awesome, Maria. Thank you so much. Very valuable. I definitely got some tips from there. But guys, so here's the thing. So Maria made some very important points, and I want to highlight those points, okay? Number one is, if you do not have a picture on your profile with a nice smiling picture, you want to get a picture on your profile. Okay, that is like a must, right? Because when people send me friend requests, that's what I look at, right? Like, there's nothing worse than just like a silhouette of some kind or whatever, or somebody's got an automobile. Like, man, that's already like, no, I'm not friending you, you know? And so you want to make sure you have a nice smiling picture. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, here's another thing though, really important. Network marketing is made up of 80% women. I'm going to repeat that. Network marketing is made up of 80% women, right? Just look at the leaderboards. The women crush it, right? So guess what? You want to attract women, okay? Women have their creeper monitor on, the creeper antenna on, right? Because if you were to, I feel so bad for women because they get, see, guys, we don't get this. I've gotten a creeper or 2 of women since I've been online, like next to nothing. Women get them daily, hourly, by the minute, constantly. All right. So they've got their creeper. And if you've got a female in your life, whether it's a loved one or a daughter, you know, that's got to be touching your heart, right? Because they're out there on Facebook, and guess what? They're going through this. So guess what? If you don't have a nice looking picture of you on there, you're going to want to do it, because what did I just say? 80% of network marketers are women, and women crush it in this field. So you want women on your team, okay? And if you don't have a nice picture, you're going to want to get that changed as soon as possible. Secondly, if you've got a significant, this is for the guys, if you have a significant other, a female significant other, okay, it's always best if it's you and her together there, because that lessens the resistance. When a woman sees you like, oh, he's got a lady in his life, you know, there's less of a chance that they're like, okay, this guy doesn't seem like a creep because he's on there, got a nice picture of his girlfriend or his wife or whatever the case may be. I highly recommend that you do that. Okay, so that is super duper important. All right, now the other thing too that Maria mentioned, okay, about these groups. Okay, when you go into these groups, Maria, you taught me something very valuable today, because I never thought of like going into that field and searching with the word friend. Okay, because I can see how you can so very quickly add, you know, friends to your list. So you want to start doing that like very quickly, as soon as possible, whatever it is that you're passionate about. So Maria mentioned gardening as an example. Okay, you can go to some of these groups, for example, like if you're looking actually to, you know, a particular product can help with, you know, diabetes or whatever, you want to go to those groups and start friending people and see who it is, you know, search the word friend in there and start friending those people and start building relationships with them, add them as friends. Okay, so that's super duper important, but this takes time, right? This is not something, if you look at Maria, she went from 800 to 2,800 in 4 months. You've got to be consistent, and initially when you first start, okay, you got to be careful in terms of how many friends you're adding at one time. Right? So Facebook's already used to Maria adding tons of friends on there, and they're like, okay, yeah, this is the real Maria. Because see, what Facebook is concerned with, you know, spammy stuff. They're also concerned with bots, right? Because there are certain bots out there that you can invest in just for the whole purpose of just, you know, acquiring a lot of friends. Well, Facebook does not like that. So what they do is, when they see you friending a lot of people or messaging a lot of people at the very beginning when you're first starting, Facebook wants to slow you down, for one, because it's happening too quickly and they've never seen you do this before. So you've got to get Facebook used to you. So when you're first starting, you may just want to do 10 or 15, slow down, right? And then come back another 2 hours later, you know, kind of thing. All right. So that's super duper important. But Maria hit the nail on the head when she first started this. Look at your friends list and look at how many people are following you. If your audience is not big enough, you've got to expand that. You've got to get to 5,000 friends as quickly as possible. It's going to take time, but it can be done. The more you expand your friends list, the better, the more people you're going to find to connect with, and hopefully, you know, have a chance to offer them this wonderful product that we have to help them, right? You got to come from the mindset of who can I help, as opposed to who can I get to buy my product? Who can I bring on as an affiliate? Who can I help? If you come from that mindset and that mentality, your whole energy shifts from one of what can I get from you, as opposed to what can I give you. All right, that's super duper important. All right. Now I love to call this the Facebook mirror. What I want each of you to do as part of your assignment, okay, I want you each sometime tonight or tomorrow morning, go through your Facebook page, your own personal Facebook page, and I would like for you, all right, what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to look at your profile from an outside point of view. Pretend you're not you. And let's just say that you're just kind of scrolling on your own page from an outside point of view. Scroll through your page and look through and say, okay, would I friend this person? Would I join this person? All right. Would I buy what this person is selling me? If the answer is no, if it doesn't attract you, it's not going to attract someone outside of you. Right? So you got to look in that Facebook mirror and you got to be genuine about it. And Maria talked about being consistent with your posts, right? So you don't want to be spamming your stuff like all over your page. That turns people away. All right. I used to do that. All right. I used to be like, oh my goodness. And it wasn't with HempWorks. It was with previous companies I was with, you know, like, oh, I'm with Beachbody. Check it out. Who doesn't want to lose weight? You know, that kind of stuff. And I was just posting my stuff. I was getting unfriended left and right. Got no comments, no nothing. Right. You want to lead with value as much as possible. All right. So what is value? What's going to attract people more? All right. Is it this product? right? This product that I'm selling, or is it, hey, look at Maria, look at Richard, they used to struggle with this particular ailment, now they don't anymore, right? It's the story, it's the benefit that they get. But now the other thing that I want to point out is this. Jenna has been doing a lot of videos recently about compliance. This is super duper important. This is called protecting the house, okay? This is our home. This is our family. We've got to avoid naming diseases from now on. You can't say the C word, cancer. You can't say the D word, diabetes. You can't say, the A word, Alzheimer's, or H word, heart disease, whatever the case may be. We just can't name those anymore. We just can't. We just got it. Because now, see, we're on the spotlight. So we're in good graces right now with, the powers that be in government and stuff like that. We're in good graces right now with the FDA and with the FTC, because the FTC likes the fact that we have a lot more customers compared to affiliates. We've got 400,000 customers compared to about 61,000 affiliates. Okay, that looks good. All right, but when it gets to the point where it's more affiliate based than customer based, that does not look good. Right, that's when companies get shut down and our income freezes overnight, just like that. If you guys have never been part of a shutdown, I have. It's ugly. All right, it's really ugly. You're talking about you've got money about to be paid to you on Friday morning or Thursday evening, shut down just like that. All right, so we got to protect the house. There's going to be no more mentioning of diseases or anything like that. Right, you can just say, you got to be very general about it. Okay, you got to be very general and be very careful, because this is even if, because there's a product disclaimer that we have in the back office. Even if you put the product disclaimer, it doesn't matter, because of the fact that we're growing so rapidly. We're like we are by far the #1 CBD oil company in the world. Just to give you an idea, there was almost 600 million in CBD annual revenue last year in 2018, 600 million. Guess who was 100 million of the 600 million worldwide? We were 1/6 of the total revenue. So guess what? Do you think the FTC is watching us, right? Do you think the FDA is watching us? We're the biggest dog out there, and they are looking at everything that we're doing. And they'll do anything to shut us down, because guess who owns the FDA? Guess who owns the FTC? Big Pharma, right? Big pharmaceutical companies, right? And right now we're a threat to them, right? Because that means we're taking revenue out of their pockets, because people are moving away from the pharmaceutical. So we got to avoid those terms at all costs. Protect the house as much as possible. Okay, but you got to still work on increasing your friend list, right? Lead with value. Lead with what this, lead with what this product is, can do to help you. All right, and if you come from the mindset of how can I help you as opposed to what can I get, you are going to benefit from it tremendously. All right, but now I'll open it up to questions. So Maria, thank you so much. Please, and if you've got a question, please raise your hand. Now, how do you raise your hand? Okay, what you do, actually, I can't see it. There's a more button at the bottom. You can raise your hand at the bottom, or just if you want to, just go ahead and unmute your mic and just go ahead and start speaking. If you got any questions. Anybody, anything? No?
I have a question for Maria.
Okay, please go ahead, Susan.
When you started adding more friends, did you start weeding through your previous followers? You said you had 800 to start with. Right now, I'm at 2,300, but a lot of them are personal friends and non-active in network marketing. In order to have enough space for 5,000, I want to be able to weed out some of them. Is that what you did?
Well, that's a great question. I actually have heard of some kind of, it's either, I don't know if it's an app or some kind of software. I'll have to find out and share with you guys what exactly it is, but I know that it somehow scans all your friends list and weeds out the fake accounts to help you get rid of those. So I just haven't looked into it yet because I haven't reached 5,000 yet. Once I reach my 5,000, that's what I'm going to do. That way I can weed them all out all at once. It'll probably be a couple hundred that I could get rid of. And then, like I said, yeah, you want to add again. And
So
start
can you
again.
keep me on your post-it list?
Yes, Susan, of course. Yes. Of course. When I find out, I'll have to look it up and see exactly what software it is to use for that.
And if I find it before you, I'll let you know.
There you go. Thank you.
Very informative, by the way. Thank you.
Yes, I'm so glad. Thank you. Yeah, the
All right,
way
awesome.
that I heard it was when it kind of my light bulb went off was somebody made the correlation that, for example, let's think of Beyonce. If she's going to put on a concert and she has 5,000 seats to fill, you know, she's going to want to sell every single ticket. But if she only sells, you know, 2,300, she's going to be sad that there's going to be that many seats empty. So that's the way that you got to think about it. Is
Yeah.
you have a lot of seats that are empty, a lot of audience to fill. So you just want to get to 5,000.
That's like what Carlos was saying about your profile. I liked what you had about you being married. By the way, I met and married my husband in South Carolina. So Carolina's up there. But listing the fact that you're married, you have children, because you do want to gear to those women, as Carlos was saying, it is majority women that are on the internet and building home-based businesses. So fun facts about yourself. I very rarely post the word HempWorks. I mean, I will share posts, not on my personal timeline, but in comments I'll like about CBD oil and doggy treats. I'm big into horses. I had my own horses, so I kind of geared a lot of my posts to that. I also do a lot of interior decorating, refinishing antiques. So I belong to a lot of groups for that. So my Facebook page actually shows that I have my own group for interior decorating, refinishing. And so I post on there. I also help a lot of, I live in an old Irish community, even though I'm English. I actually live in a very predominant Irish community, and I help a lot of the resorts in promoting their businesses. So I know a lot of people from there, being that I used to own my own Irish pub. So I have that in my bio. So people see a bio that is not geared to selling at all. Right. In fact, people are very surprised when they find out that I'm actually working online.
Yeah, you definitely want to mix it up.
Absolutely. And I'm old-fashioned. I'm a big belly-to-belly person. I like to work face-to-face with people. But Maria, fantastic job. Carlos, again, fantastic.
Awesome. Great question, Susan. Thank you so much. All right, we got Marcus coming up who raised his hand. Go ahead, Marcus.
All right, my question is this. This is a field that is predominantly dominated by women, right? So what tips would you give for a male in this business and interacting with females that are going to get into network marketing? I mean, I'm happily married. My Facebook profile is a picture of me and my wife already, but, you know, I've noticed that a lot of women, they do have that flag up or that barrier up, if you will, about, is this person like really just trying to holler at me, or what is he trying to do? How do you go about genuinely connecting with those people, females and specifically, without kind of crossing that line? Do you get what I'm trying to ask?
Yes. Carlos, do you want to answer that since you're a male? I can answer that just by saying, I mean, just
Well, Maria, let me say this.
Yeah,
I
go
want
ahead.
you to answer that, and the reason is because this is what I always tell my daughters, right? It's like, girls, you want to know how a guy thinks, ask a guy, right?
Right.
You know, you want to know how a woman thinks, ask a woman. So you're gonna know better than
True
I.
story. True story.
Well, I mean, any of the ladies in here can jump in as well, but if you ask me, I mean, from my personal experience, I don't block any males until they give me a creep factor. You know what I mean? So if they comment, you can't comment and say, oh, you have nice eyes, or, you know, you look pretty in that picture or whatever. Just, you can't do that. So as long as you stay away from that and just like keep it all business, and maybe, you know, just make a comment on something in their profile, or you know, I don't know, like something to do with something that they're involved in. Like for instance, like Susan said, she's involved in, what was it that you said?
Horses.
And things like that. Yeah. So
I was going to butt in there, and I'm sorry to interject, Maria.
No, go ahead.
As an older woman, I mean, I'm looking at you. You guys are all so young. I'm a grandmother already. So, and that really creeps me out when they start with the, oh, you've got lovely eyes. And I'm like, have you got your glasses on? Can you really see? No, Marcus, what I would say is, if you're going into groups, and I don't know what your interests are, but if say you're into some sort of activity, sport, or whatever it is, and there are women in there, and a woman makes a comment or likes a post that you put up, keep it very generic, because there's nothing worse than having a guy, and I'm talking as a 62-year-old woman, having a guy come on hot and heavy, and then their idea may just be to sell me something, but they're giving me the creep out factor over here, saying, oh, Jesus, let me get out of here. I'm married. I don't need this shit. Okay, I got someone clapping. Thank you.
All right. Hey, thank you for keeping it real, Susan.
Ladies, we want each of your point of view, as many as you can step out, because I think it's very important, because again, one, we don't want women to feel like that. We don't want women to feel like that at all. All right, we want them to feel valued and special. But you tell us, you already given us a couple of them. Hey, you know, so we're complimenting you on your physical appearance, right? So that's a big no-no. So guys, that's a big one, right? Don't comment on anything, you know. You can probably comment on something about their family. Hey, lovely family picture, nice family picture you had in Florida, whatever the case may be. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Okay, so give us some more ideas of what are some creepy words that we got to stay away from.
One of them, do not comment on, oh, what beautiful children, what a beautiful daughter. Don't do it. Don't.
I think that's even creepier than the eyes.
As a mother of 3 daughters, do not do it.
All right.
Good to
I was
know.
going to say something, if I may. Just a little tip.
Yes, Lily.
Okay. What I always experience with, like, if someone starts, you know, with that, the complimenting, you know, I'm usually done. But if a male, you can usually tell if they include their wife, if they say, oh, my wife and I are into network marketing. I mean, you can usually tell. And then you start, if you include your wife or say we, then that really changes really quickly. The trust factor kicks in for me. You know,
well,
if they're going to include their wife, I'm like, okay, this is okay. You know, more than likely.
Right.
And take it from there. But that's one of the first things that I noticed myself.
That's a huge gold nugget, guys. I've got that one written down. All right, awesome. Thank you for that, Lily. Thank you. Thank you. Jessica Pankey, please step out, because I know you've got a nugget or two for us. Thank you, Lily. Thank you. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Lily.
Can you
You're
tell I'm
welcome.
nodding my head about the creep factor? Is that why you're pulling me out? It's true. Like I honestly probably delete at least 5 a day that they start messaging me. I don't even care what they're into. I don't even start. Basically, if they start, you're so attractive. If they say anything about my looks and appearance in any way, you're getting deleted, or you're kind of like on the red flag, like, okay, what's this dude about? For me, I feel like going about it in a respectful way of complimenting, you know, our interests, definitely go through the profile. Like Carlos, I know that you've trained a lot about this. You even just 30 seconds scrolling through somebody's page and looking at their interests, looking, you know, like I forget who mentioned about horses or something. Just, oh, that's cool that you're into horses, and then kind of go from there, intriguing. Oh, we have cool CBD oil, pet, whatever for animals too. Kind of going about that way. I guess if you're gonna talk to them in their interests and what, not, I don't know, not in a creepy way of, oh, you look so good on that horse or something. I don't know. I get it a lot, and I don't even listen to it anymore. Like one sentence and I'm deleting the person. So
Wow.
I think just stay away from like complimenting appearances in any way. Beautiful eyes, beautiful pose. I don't know, anything like that. I've had a lot of people messaging me and talking to me about stuff like that, and I instantly delete them. I don't want to hear about it. I have no desire to condone in those kind of people. I don't want them in my life, and if that's all they're interested in, I'm not interested in that. So I don't know. That's kind of my tip, is don't compliment appearances.
All right.
I think, can I just
Thank you.
interject there on that? Carlos, would I be able to interject on that?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Susie. Please do. Please.
Okay, I think the best way to look at it, and I'm responding again to Marcus. If you were to go into a business in a professional manner, and you were trying to make a connection with the CEO of a company, would you compliment the CEO on their appearance? No. You would keep it totally professional. And so what I'm trying to say is, if you always keep in the back of your mind that we are professionals, this is a business. This is not a how many people can I add just for the sake of adding. You want to weed them out. You want to be selective in who you connect with. And you don't want to, you want to keep it on, again, you want to keep it on that very professional level.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to creep a woman out, don't talk about her figure, her eyes, her hair, her makeup, her physique. If you see something, she's into cats, horses, dogs, golf, soccer, basketball. Those are neutral areas.
Awesome.
Okay. Sorry, I keep going.
Susan, I think you might be my new best friend.
All right, good stuff, guys. Good stuff. So, guys, so if you look at the nuggets we got so far, right? You know, so because remember, guys, this is about lessening resistance. This is all about lessening resistance, right? Because we're already approaching somebody new, and right away, even if it's not a male-female thing, right away it's like, oh man, you know, what are they trying to sell me, right? I mean, that resistance is already going up. Okay, so it's about lessening resistance as much as possible, right? So now if it's a guy approaching a lady, okay, the first thing they're looking is at the profile picture. That's the first, right? Because we're visual people, right? That's the first thing they look at, like, okay. And then plus the words along with it. And so now, as Lily mentioned, right, super powerful, right? You know, hey, whatever it is that your statement is, and you say, we, my wife and I, boom. You know, for Lily, that was a huge gold nugget. And I can see how that would lessen the resistance because this guy's already, hey, I'm married. I'm not looking to, you know, I'm not trying to hit on you. Like this is just a conversation we're having. And that's it, you know? So anything that you can to lessen the resistance is going to give us a better opportunity of us. Remember, because this is a relationship game. It's about establishing a relationship, a connection. And that's all it's about, right? And, you know, oftentimes you're not going to, you know, like build that trust on that first conversation, right? That's why I do what Robert Hollis taught me, right? Which is lead with a gift. Lead with that gift. So I gift everyone the I am statements. I say, hey, listen, I used to have stinking thinking, and these I am statements help me. You know, I hope you get value from them too. And that's it. I keep it there, and I just say hello, and I'll come back to them in a few days, like, hey, you know what? I gave you the I am statements. You know, what'd you think of them? Just want to get some feedback, and that's it. You know, but I'm still not talking about anything that I'm doing because hopefully by me gifting them, they're going to take the time to look at my profile, right, to see what it is that I'm doing. Right, because that's the whole point. Because after you connect with them, they're going to take a look at your profile to see what you're about and what are they going to see. Remember, this involves about this now talks about, did you get into the Facebook mirror and look at your profile from an outside point of view? Okay. And I would even get to the point where hopefully you've got kind of like a workout buddy, right? Hey, listen, workout buddy, you know, take a look at my profile, right, for me and give me your honest critique of what you think of my profile, right? Wouldn't that help? Can you please, and I want you to be brutally honest with me. Tell me exactly what you think of what I should change. Okay. Because oftentimes we'll look at it and we'll think, okay, it looks okay. Yeah, I'd buy from me, but get an outside point of view and see what your workout buddy, you know, right? Your friend, your business partners get, you know, have that person give you an opinion. Like, you know what, I would do this, I would change that. You know, you're talking too much about your product. You're not leading with any value, you know, that kind of stuff. So I would definitely recommend you have one of your good friends here within the group or Daring Dream Team group or whatever group you feel comfortable with. Somebody you feel comfortable with, have them take an outside look at your profile and give you some honest suggestions and some honest feedback. Okay. Good stuff, Maria. Thank you so much. Who else has any questions? Please, right now is a good time. Don't be shy. Anyone?
Can I just ask, well, because we've talked a lot about females, but how, I guess, is there a line or something like for females approaching males? Just kind of the same thing what Lily said of like maybe my husband and I, or what are some tips like for females approaching males in this? Because I don't want to come off as a creeper either.
Yeah, and you know what? Because guys hardly get that. Like that's, and maybe I'm not speaking for all guys, but I mean, guys hardly get that. That's not a thing that at least I don't worry about. You know, and you guys feel free to chime in, right? That's not our creeper alert is not up there now. Like I said, I've been, you know, on Facebook for quite a while. I've probably had maybe 3 or 4 occasions over 10 years that has happened, right? So it's rare. It's rare that happens. So that's why I feel so bad for women. I can just imagine what they go through, and it breaks my heart because I've got 2 daughters. Right, I've got 2 daughters, and I can just imagine what they're going through. So it really does affect me. Okay, but as far as for guys, okay, you know, guys, oftentimes guys are just like, get right to the point, right? Don't beat around the bush. Get right to the point. Okay, like more that guy, you know. So whereas women, they kind of enjoy the relationship side of things. Okay, probably more than men. All right, and I'm not trying to stereotype or anything like that. Right, guys are like, okay, I'm busy. Get to the point. What do you want? You know, and that's what we're thinking. Right, that's what we're thinking. So we'd rather you come and get right to the point. Okay, it's fine that you took a look at my profile. Hey, Carlos, man, cool profile. Like the post that you made about this. Okay, great. Get to your point, right? Because when people start approaching me, I already know that somebody that's not part of Hempworks or something else, right? I know that they're gonna pitch me on something. So guess what I do when, like, for example, someone today friended me, and it was a lady, and she's into the credit repair business. So I friended her, I gifted her. And I think her name was Maria. And I said, Maria, this is awesome. I see you're in the credit. And I always leave a voice message. I get right to the point. So when someone messages me, boom, I go right to a voice message really quick. A voice message is a lot more powerful than just something typed. you know, so I want them to hear me. I'm like, hey, Maria, this is awesome. You know, I see that you're in the credit repair business. That, you know, well, first off, thank you for taking the time to send me a friend request. I appreciate it. And also, I just gifted you the I am statements, right? Hopefully you get a lot of value from them. It's helped me a lot, you know, with my stinking thinking. I used to be so negative thinking. But anyway, you know, one of the things that sometimes I do, I'll even get to the point where I just ask them, how can I help you? Right? I'm into helping business. How can I help you? I see you're into credit repairs. Is there anything I can do to help make your business better? You know, that kind of thing. So that kind of lessens the resistance right there. Like, oh, okay, well, it throws them off. It throws them. I just see it on the other side. It throws them off. Or I'll just go ahead and say, listen, I'm into CBD oil business. I'll come right out of it. So I'll alternate. I'm into CBD oil business. You know, I don't know if you know anybody that has any kind of pain or anxiety or depression that you think could be help with this product. If not, that's okay. I wish you well with your business, and bye for now. All right. But guys like you to get right to the point, at least from my point of view. All right. Guys, would you agree? Esteban, Aaron, Marcus, would you guys agree?
Yeah, I agree with that, Carlos. I actually, you know, Ron kept saying about how someone reached out to him and he was like, can we just cut the chit chat and get to the point type thing. I actually had a guy do that to me. He's like, he messaged me. So I'm like, all right, I'll message him back. And we were going back and forth. And he's like, well, how about we start introducing ourselves? I'm like, well, how about you just tell me what you want? And how can I help you? And we can go from there. And then he's like, well, he keeps going on with his spiel about, you know, himself. And I'm like, all right. And he goes to my profile and he sees I'm married and got kids. And then he goes to, well, are you happily married? And I'm like, all right, this is getting weird. So I had a guy go creepy on me. So I had to block him and delete. And I was like, I'm done.
Oh my gosh.
How did that feel?
It was weird. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, straight to the point is best, I think.
Usually whenever they start, like if they want to friend me, I usually don't friend them right away. I usually just connect with them through Messenger. And half of the time it ends up being not a good friend. And so I even end up blocking them. Usually males, I got to a point where, I'm sorry guys if this offends you, but my wall is very high with men. I mean, unless they seem very professional, and just then I'll friend them or, you know, connect with them first through Messenger. If I see that it's good, it's going good, I go ahead and friend them. But otherwise, no, it's a waste of time. There's a lot of time wasters out there. So
there's that word again, Lily.
Huh?
There's that word again, professionalism.
Exactly. And so I love the block button. I mean, it's the best thing ever. Yeah. But anyway, wanted to put my 2 cents in there.
I'm just glad I made the cut, Lily.
I'm sorry.
Oh, one more thing that I forgot to say in the whole reason also that I learned of why you want to add a bunch of people to your friends list is because I noticed that, you know, when you first start, your friends list is your warm market. It's your friends, your family, the people you went to high school with, you went to college with, whatnot. And so when you start talking about your business and talking about yourself and doing lives, the reason we are so afraid about doing lives and talking about what we do is because we're constantly thinking about who's going to see it, who's going to watch it, right? So we're like, okay, my cousin's watching, my friend from high school is watching, what are they going to think, blah, blah, blah. That's what kind of blocks you from doing lives. But if you've added 3,000 friends that are all in network marketing and they are all doing lives themselves of their products, you start thinking, you start forgetting about who cares if that person that I went to high school with is watching my live, because I don't want him to buy anyway. I don't want her to buy, you know, that's not who I want on my team anyway. They're not going to buy it. They're not going to look at it. Who cares? What I'm focused on these other women that I've added. I want them to see it. I want to get their attention. So all of a sudden you don't care about the other people who might be judging you for it or whatever, or you think that they are. So that's the other reason why you want to just expand your audience to people who are in the same industry, because you see them doing the same thing. Like a couple of weeks ago, I was in Nashville at the ClickFunnels event. It was a huge event. It was like 10,000 people there learning about ClickFunnels, and they're all, I just went there because I was in the area, and it's a beautiful hotel down there in Nashville. It's the Opryland Hotel. And yeah, it's just beautiful. So I just was walking around, and they let out of one of the big seminars, like Ray Higdon was there and stuff like that. So they let out for lunch, and like all 10,000 people are walking around this hotel, and they're literally, every single one of them are going like this and doing their live and talking. And I'm just like looking everywhere, and everywhere there's somebody with their phone on their face doing a live. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these are my people. Like they're, they don't care that anyone's walking around and watching what they're doing, because they're all doing the same thing. So yeah, once you get out of that mentality of thinking, oh, what if so-and-so is watching? Don't worry about it, because they're not the ones you're targeting anyway. You're targeting your new audience. That's it.
Awesome point, Maria. Awesome. So Maria brings up an excellent point, right? When you want to fish, right? If you want to fish for salmon, go where the salmon are at, right? So here's what we both mean by that, okay? It's nice to have customers. It's nice to have customers, right? And I'm glad that we have a ratio of 400,000 customers to 60,000 affiliates, right? The FTC loves that. All these major government organizations love that. But if you're looking to get to 5K, 10K, 25K as quickly as possible, you got to be hunting for the big fish, which are the network marketers that understand this business. Those are the business builders, all right? It's okay to get customers. It's totally fine. But the customers buy onesie-twosie bottles, all right? That's it. Unless you happen to get a chiropractor or a health food store, or a gym or something like that, that's different, right? But I'm talking about just, people in general, they're going to buy onesie-twosie bottles. And it's got to take you a lot of customers to get to 5K, a lot. All right. Whereas if you can get one or two good business builders, that's it. That's all you need. Okay. To start with, to get to 5K and 10K. Okay. So with that said, you want to go to where the salmon are at. You want to go where you want to put your as many fishing poles as possible to where those people are at, because those are the ones that are going to help build your business quickly. So where do you want to go? You want to go into groups that are into personal development, for one. Okay. Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, those are all guys, they're pro, and they say it all the time, right? If you never read Cash Flow Quadrant and Rich Dad, Poor Dad, they believe in network marketing. For people that don't have the ingenuity to develop a product, right? Don't have the funds to start a business, they say the best way is network marketing, okay? So guess who follows those kind of people? Network marketers. So I would go into Facebook, and I would search Tony Robbins. I would search Robert Kiyosaki. I would search Eric Worre. Okay, people like that, and join those groups. And there's no spamming in those groups, because you'll get kicked out as quickly as you got, as you got accepted in. No spamming in there, but you want to start the more you engage in intelligent conversation in there, the more you're going to stand out. And guess what that does? When you engage in a conversation and instead of just posting a thumbs up or an awesome or something like that, okay, actually put your real 2 cents behind it. Okay, here's what I think about that. Okay, put in an intelligent sentence or two. Guess what that does? The more you do that, people are going to say like, wow, man, look at Maria, look at Walter, look at, look at Susan, look at Jane. Okay, no, that's an amazing. Who is Jane? they're going to click on your profile and they're going to go see what it is that you're about. Right? And then eventually you want to take people into Messenger. So the whole goal is to get them into Messenger to start a conversation with them. Right? So that's where the fish are. That's where the business builders are at. And that's what Maria's talking about. Like, you know, she was saying, well, I don't care if my friend, you know, my high school friend doesn't buy my product. You know, that's not a business builder, right? I want business builders as much as possible. Right? So hopefully you guys got value from, you know, what Maria just pointed out. So very excellent point, Maria. Thank you so much.
Can I say something real quick here?
Yes, sir.
I know I'm kind of the outsider, but kind of piggyback on what Maria and Carlos said. One of the things that I did initially when I started building my audience, and I did a whole revamp of my audience, and I've got, I don't know, somewhere probably around 7,000 people or more in my Facebook profile and audience and followers and so forth. When I was going out to the Eric Worre sites and the Robert Kiyosaki's and the Tony Robbins and the Ray Higdons and so forth, first off, you can't post on most of those. The only people that post are the people that own the group or the page that you're going to. But there are a lot of people out there putting comments out, and I used to watch, especially like on the Tony Robbins and the Eric Worre ones. I'd watch and see who commented on an event. So if somebody was say Eric Worre and said, man, you know, I just got back from a GoPro event and those speakers were phenomenal, I would look for posts like their comments like that. And then I would go to the comment and say, oh man, you know, I wasn't able to get there this year. Who was your favorite speaker? So I'm asking questions to get them engaged with me. And all of a sudden, they're coming back and saying, oh, you know, it was Jeff Roberti. Man, he talked about this. And, oh, I love Jeff Roberti, and I wish I could have seen that. I wonder, do you know if there's any recordings available? Or just, you know, get a quick conversation. Boom, 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 boom. And next thing you know, almost every single time, I see a boop, friend request come up.
Right.
And then you go through, you know, what Maria talked about earlier and Carlos and so forth. But you never obviously want to put your links or anything like that out at that point. And I'm not against links on your own profile and everything else. But when you're engaging with people, you want to engage with them just as if you were talking to people in a group setting, maybe at a party or something like that. And someone's saying, oh man, did you go see the new Captain Marvel movie? It was awesome. You know, oh yeah, I love Marvel movies. You know, what did you like? What was cool about it? What was the best part? You know, and you start developing that. You'll be amazed at how fast, because we all know what's the name of the game, right? People do business with those they know, like, and trust. You're not spamming them. You're not, you know. Now, if you're Aaron Kaufman, he's a good-looking guy. You know, you may have to worry about, you know, people, you know, coming after you. But Aaron, I've had that too. Okay, maybe not. But, you know, that's scary. And I want to just touch on something real quick on lives. You know, we were talking about, you guys are always talking about lives. And I've had so many conversations with the team over the last, you know, few months. And the first thing I ask people is, well, how are your lives going? You know, I don't feel comfortable yet, but I'm doing a lot of posts. Anybody can post, right? Anybody can put up quotes. How does that quote identify who you are? It doesn't. Even if you put your face on it and you put a picture of it and you're holding this and you got a quote and everything else, anybody can do that. Doesn't mean you believe it. Doesn't mean you're genuine. Doesn't mean anything about it. But when I see like Maria and I see Jessica and I see Carlos get on and and Lily and do their lives, I now resonate. I now relate. I can see their faces. I can see their expressions. I can hear their tone of voice. I can see everything. I can see the sincerity. I can see exactly who that person is. Because the last thing you want is when you meet somebody in person for them to say, wow, you're nothing like I thought. What you want them to say is, wow, minus the beard, you're exactly like I thought you'd be, right? That's when you know you've done your job. Now I'm going to be doing a training because I've been remiss, and apparently my face turns red very quickly, I'm told by Lily and Carlos, on watch parties. And I don't know if you guys talked about it, 'cause I was in and out tonight, but watch parties are incredibly powerful. I did a watch party today, and like from that watch party, I've got a new pre-enrollee that is going through and probably going to sign up as an executive. A hot, someone that's a hot marketer and saw what we did. And so forth.
Awesome.
Okay. And we just, Carlos and Lily and I were having a meeting about something totally different, and watch party came up, and I went through it with them a little bit, and I've been remiss. I need to do a training on it. But it's very powerful because what you're doing is you're taking the lives that you already have done and repurposing them now. And that becomes very, very powerful. So what I did was I did a live a few weeks ago on all CBD oil is not created equal. And it's got well over 2,000, 3,000 views on it. So all I did was I went down to that live, and there's a little button there that says Start Watch Party. I hit the Start Watch Party, and I put a new title in it, and I put some links in it, and I put some stuff in there, and I hit go. And people just flocked to it. I was amazed. So not only did it get 2,000 views, but now I got more people, and Facebook loves them, so it puts them out in a lot of different areas now. It expands that engagement. But you got to get past the first part and start doing lives, right? Unless you're going to keep using somebody else's live for your watch party. So, I know I'm preaching to the choir, and I didn't want to, take over Maria's training because she's done an amazing, amazing job. But I can't stress enough that in this day and age, even Robert Hollis talked about it on the last tribe meeting, is that you've got to get out there in front of people. In the old days, back, 40 years ago when I was doing this, we went to, coffee shops, we went to hotel meetings because you needed to have that belly-to-belly, face-to-face meetings, right? That's why Zooms are so powerful. That's why lives are so powerful, because I can see your face. I'm watching you all right now, and I see, like Jessica and Esteban and Jane and everybody, and heads are going like this, right? I can't see that on the phone. I just can't see that on the phone. And you need to know that. So social media, don't stray away from it. The key in any of these marketing techniques is say as little as you can to as many as you can. You need to just get out there and get out there and get out there. And you would be surprised how many people will reach out to you. Fall in love. We've said this, 1,000 times. You need to fall in love with that process. And what Maria's described tonight is a process, right? It is a process. And if you fall in love with that process, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you've got any signups. I was talking to someone else today, and they're, well, I've done this 400 times. I said, hey, that's great. Let's talk when you've done it 800. Let's talk when you've done it 1,000. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as you're in love with the process. I will guarantee you, if you do not quit. Everybody remember that graphic that's got the guy mining for the diamonds, and it's a split, and the guy up at top, he's mining for the diamonds, and it shows where the diamonds are. They're like here, and he quits. And the guy below takes that one last swatch, or that one last swipe, and he breaks open the wall, and the diamonds all fall out. That is an amazingly perfect example how we get to a point where our frustrations and everything become a breaking point, and we quit at the breaking point, right at the breakdown, right before the breaking point hits. And that's why you've got to be in love with the process, because if you fall in love with the results and they don't come, you hit that breakdown point a lot faster. But if you fall in love with the process, all I'm doing is I'm just chiseling away. I don't care. I'm chiseling away, and all of a sudden, whoa, diamonds. That's amazing. I'm just reaching out to people on Facebook, and I am just I'm turning those cards over, looking for the ace, and I'm just continually going and going and going. As many people as you can, say as little as you can to as many people as you can. So that's my 2 cents, everybody. I hope that's helped a little bit. Maria, you've done an amazing job tonight. You guys, I hope you took a lot of notes. This is recorded, so you can go back and look at it again. And Richard, you had your hand up. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I got a question. I just wanted to clarify something, because I'm going to be doing some lives. And as far as terminology, as far as mentioning diseases, whether it's a live or a Facebook post, we're not supposed to use words like dementia or anything like that, correct?
That's correct. And in fact, I posted in the Daring Dream Team again, Jenna's live. I think she redid it again. I don't know if Facebook took it down or what. I couldn't find the first one she did, but she did it again and went over it again. And understand this is not, and I want everybody to make sure they understand this, because a lot of companies out there are not protecting their reps. They're telling them, yeah, just go ahead and say what you want to say. And that's how they get shut down. That's how they get closed. That's how they end up being sued and investigated and everything else. Josh and Jenna are so on top of what needs to be done correctly so that this company stays around for a long time. So you know that you feel comfortable, you can build a legacy company. So I know it's frustrating because, I wanted to do they asked me to do a testimony in Seattle. And then I said, oh, yeah, that'd be great. And then compliance called me and said, but you can't mention your heart attack. You can't mention open heart surgery. You can't mention, I felt bad. Now I feel good. That was kind of what, so I said, yeah, I would have a hard time with that, So Richard, you're right. You can't. And she explained it all. Basically, those are kind of copyrighted, all those names by the drug people and by the medical people and everything else. And they want to get credit for all that. Now, if we can get this petition signed by enough people and get legislation changed and everything else, then that would be great. Freedom of press and freedom of our, ability to, take holistic medicine to a whole new height. That's great. But in the meantime, let's not make the mistake and cause the company and all of our businesses to be online, in jeopardy in that. So.
Yeah, it's crazy that the video that Jenna did yesterday actually got shut down by Facebook. So that's why she had to redo it today.
It was actually, she was even more vocal today.
A lot more. So it may not stay up long. I mean, it may be gone again.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is that here's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and capture and put it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And YouTube and Facebook don't see eye to eye because they're two different owners, right? So there's a better chance it'll stay up on YouTube when Facebook gets rid of it. So.
Right.
Yeah. Good points, Ron. And if you guys want to know the history of medicine, do a search on your favorite search engine. Look up something called the Flexner Report. FLEXNER. Flexner Report of 1910. Flexner Report of 1910. It tells you the history of the American Medical Association and why and how are things are controlled now. That's an eye-opening report. Why it is, but it basically comes down to subscribe to this lady's. You talk about power to the people, right? Subscribe to this lady. This lady's amazing. Her blog is foodbabe.com. Foodbabe.com. She has an awesome blog. She posted, just as an example, our food. She compared like the typical food that we eat, like for example, Frosted Flakes. And then I don't eat that stuff, but a lot of kids do. She compared Frosted Flakes, and that's just one of them. She did like a slew of products. Frosted Flakes here and Frosted Flakes in the UK. The UK just had some simple ingredients. In America, tons of junk that bunch of cancer-causing stuff. All right. Subscribe to her blog. She is an advocate for good, wholesome, natural food. She'll open your eyes to stuff. She's an amazing author as well. Foodbabe.com is her blog. But folks, you look at everything that's coming down the line. That's why I preach to people all the time. And Jenna was doing it as well. Be your own health advocate, right? Be your own health advocate as much as possible, because you listen to the folks in the white coats, right? Yeah, all they do is prescribe, symptom killers, right? That's all they do. They see. It used to be in the American Medical Association, because the American Medical Association is just a union. That's all it is. It's just a union, right? And there used to be a lot of medical schools throughout the country. Some medical schools were kind of doing more studies on alternative methods, and others weren't. So in order to close them in, they reduced the number of medical schools to only be controlled by, hey, this is this is the only thing that we prescribe. So that if you talk to a doctor and you ask them, you know, because they went to what, 6, 7, 8 years of medical school, however long they went, okay, ask them if they ever took a nutrition course. They tell you nothing, none, zero nutrition. Wow. They're taught 2 things. They're taught how to perform surgery, and they're taught how to prescribe prescriptions. That is it. They don't learn anything else. Okay, so that's why it's the same old thing. And now you got forced vaccinations coming, and look out, power to the people, we the people. And that's what Jenna's all about. It's all about freedom, right? Your opportunity to make more, you know, like to have your own choice. And that's why it's so important that CBD oil be an alternative for people, and why we don't want this company to ever close down. That's why it's so important to watch what we say, because right now legislation gets created by people that control the politicians. And who controls the politicians? The biggest, most powerful lobby in America, and I would imagine like this, and it's in most governments, okay, Canadian government as well, is the big pharma, the pharmaceutical company. They have the deepest pockets out of any other particular industry. And guess what they do? So they actually, and what they do is they pay off the politicians, right, through lobbies, right? It's just really just a fancy word for bribes, right? So for lobbies to create legislation that's favorable to them, right? But they never study alternative medicine. They never study because it's not advantageous for them, you know. And I mean, I'll tell you a story how I even came to all this stuff was 1986. I was a young guy young 19-year-old in college, and I had a professor. His name was Professor Garrett, and I had to take a biology course, okay, as a requirement. Okay, my major was business, but I was asked to take a biology course, and so the teacher was Professor Garrett, and Professor Garrett was actually a medical doctor. Okay, he had his own medical practice here in the suburbs of Chicago. He was supposed to be teaching biology, but he taught nutrition. And he told us, this is 1986, okay, that he was curing patients of 4th degree stage of cancer with high dosages of intravenous vitamin C. All right. And we're like, well, you know, one of the first questions that came out of my mouth was, well, doctor, you know, Professor Garrett, you know, isn't it toxic? Oh, no, you know, all the body does is just rejects it. When you take too much, the body rejects it in the form of diarrhea. So then you just reduce the amount. Well, then the next question, we're like, wow, doctor, you know, Professor Garrett, you cured cancer. Why isn't the AMA and all these other wonderful, you know, the American Cancer Institute, why aren't they singing your praises? He goes, because they don't make money off of this. It's all about the money, right? So they were trying to strip him of his license and kick him out to Canada or to Mexico or wherever, right? They didn't want him practicing, okay? And then on top of that, the big disease of the day was AIDS. Right, mid-'80s, the big thing was AIDS, right? Well, back then, he had AIDS patients. He didn't have it cured yet, but he had AIDS patients that as long as they lived on this, they followed this particular diet that he created, they lived a prolonged life without any kind of meds, you know? But again, just folks, you know, and if you look at the founder of medicine, Hippocrates, right? Hippocrates, you know, back in the Greek days, the old Greek days, right? You know, and even doctors, they take a Hippocratic oath. That's why it's called the Hippocratic oath, because it's named after Hippocrates, right? Let thy food be thy medicine, and let thy medicine be thy food, you know? And that's it. And so God created us and created all the plants and the herbs and the seeds to be food for us, to be able to have our body strengthen itself and heal itself. You know, so be your own health advocate. And, you know, I always say if whatever my doctor tells, I don't even have a doctor, but if I had a doctor, whatever my doctor tells me to do, I'm doing just the opposite. Because he's gonna get me killed. You know, so anyway, but that alone, but guys, be your own health advocate, do your own research and protect this house. You know, the last thing we want is to get this thing closed down. Can you imagine? And we just got to look at it from a point of view of, people need this product, right? And what a shame if they would have, you know, something would ever happen. God forbid nothing like that ever happens, right? But the more we protect it and we avoid those terms, the better off we're going to be. Okay. And then to get back on Ron's point, Facebook Lives. Okay. I know some of you are like, oh my goodness, you know, why I can't, I'm just not going to feel good about doing it. You know, you got to make it not about you. Because if you make it about you, you're going to struggle with it, all right? If you make it about someone else, right? You make it about someone else. Like, hey, if I don't get this message, out, if I don't get this message out, someone may commit suicide, right? Someone may do something, if you don't get this message out, someone may go into further depression or whatever the case may be. If you don't make it about you, make it about someone else, that makes it a lot easier. And then just get to the point where you just do it. Do a simple 3 to 5 minute live and you're done. And the key is do another one the next day. I always tell people don't start on a Friday, right? Because what do? We do it on a Friday and then we take the weekend off. And by the time Monday comes, we're scared all over again, right? Like we didn't even do it. I always tell people try and start on the Monday or Tuesday, do them a couple of days in a row. And then now you've got a couple under your belt and you won't be as scared come Monday. All right. The key is consistency. And if you take it from the point of view I love what Ray Higdon teaches. Ray Higdon teaches the acronym ILT. Invest, learn, teach. Invest in your education, learn it, and teach it. Now, investing does not have to be money. Investing could be time. You can go to Ray Higdon's blog, rayhigdon.com, and learn what he teaches there. All right, take 15, 20 minutes, take a couple of bullet points and teach it. When you become the teacher, that's when people start to look at what you do and they see that you offer value instead of just posting our links all over the place on our page, right? The one thing that people tell me and when I get leads, and this is the number one thing that they say, Carlos, I see that you're about value and helping your team and teaching your people. Teach them. When you become the teacher, you're going to become more attractive to people and people are going to follow you and flock to you. It takes time though. All right. I don't want you to get discouraged. Like, hey, Ron, Carlos, Maria, Lily, I've been doing this stuff for, 30 days, 6 months and I'm still not getting anything. Guess what we're going to tell you? Keep doing them. Keep doing them. Keep doing them. Keep doing. This is something that once you get started, it's going to be like brushing your teeth. It's something you're going to have to do, Now, do you have to do it every day? Probably not, right? But I would recommend at least 2 or 3 lives a week, right? At least 2 or 3 lives a week where you're giving value and teaching to people, right? Because there are people that need guidance and they need your help. And if you look at it from that point of view, don't make it about you. Make it about, again, what I said earlier, right? Instead of saying, well, who can I get to sign up with me? Is like, who can I help? Who can I help? And if you make it about that, you'll kind of that helps you get over the comfort zone, out of the discomfort zone and get you growing, right? Grow, as Tony Robbins likes to say, when you get to the point where you're actually growing and contributing, that is the best feeling in the world. That's called fulfillment. It's called fulfillment. All right. I'll give it back to you, Maria.
Okay. Well, one last point that I wanted to make, kind of piggybacking on, what you mentioned about, since we're talking about joining groups and friending people from groups, you said and Ron mentioned that a lot of times when you go to groups like Ray Higdon or Russell Brunson, whoever you want to follow, a lot of the times those groups you can't post in because it's owned by whoever. So if you actually go and kind of narrow it more down to a specific book, like the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book or whatever, there might be a specific group just about that book and fans of that book, and they discuss whatever from that book, that particular book, not the author, but the book itself. So that kind of narrows it down a little bit more, and typically in groups like that, you are able to communicate and post and ask questions and, interact more than what you can in those huge groups of the authors themselves. So that's just one more thing I wanted to throw out there, but I think that was pretty much it for me. If we want to wrap this up, or if anybody else has any questions.
One last thing I want to put out real quick, Maria, is I shared a video in the Daring Dream Team by Will Smith, and everybody should go watch that. Will Smith on jumping out of airplanes, skydiving. It really hit home for me because I've got quite a few jumps out of planes, and I remember that first time getting up in an airplane and all the things that went through my head the night before, the week before. I was in the military at the time, and for 2 weeks before we ever jumped out of a plane, we did training. And the third week, all we did was jump out of planes. And all of us sat around and talked about it. Oh man, what if we die? What if this happens? What if that happens? What else? And then you get there, and it's not like skydiving where you're attached to anybody or anything. You're attached to the plane, and you're at 1,250 feet, and you put your arms outside of this plane, and you look out, and there's you and the ground. And as soon as you jump out, the feeling is phenomenal. I mean, it's the freest thing that you can ever imagine. You're falling, your chute opens, and you're just hanging there in the middle. You can see for miles and miles around. It's beautiful. The wind's blowing and everything else, and you're sitting back thinking, well, what was I afraid of? Why did I spend weeks stressing over this, wondering what was going to happen? Put that into the perspective of doing a live. It's the same thing. And then you do the live, and I've heard so many of you and so many, on our team, and so many that I've coached over the years say, wow, that wasn't as bad as I thought at all. And I can honestly tell you, nobody has died from doing a live. No one has died from it. So, and I noticed real quick, Blair, you had your hand up. Did you have a question? You have to unmute.
Yeah, I was just asking, if you could give us a few topics for lives, or wondering what material we should cover that's important.
I would talk about, because the reasoning behind doing lives are really twofold. One is you want to create a know, like, and trust situation, right? So I'm sure, Blair, for you, there are some that you're passionate about outside of your business, just in life. We think that we've all got to go to sites and groups that are network marketing or professionals and things like that. But sometimes you just want to go out to people that, I see some of the best marketers I see out there are doing lives about their dog. They're doing lives about, what was it? Who was it, Carlos, the other day? The Salvation Sisters. Refinishing a desk or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously what Carlos said, IoT is huge. That's how I started doing my lives many years ago, was whatever I would learn, I would just start teaching it. But you got to remember that you want to learn, you want to invest in your time and your knowledge and your personal growth and your growth in your business and your growth in your passion. And then you want to put it into work, into play, into action. And what you don't want to be the one that is always, what's the old saying? Those that can't do, teach. You want to be that person that can do and teaches. Does that make sense? You want to be giving the value out because and I think Carlos and I talk about this subject every single day, just about. It drives me crazy with all these experts out there that are giving out value, and you see no success on their profile. You go through their profile and you don't see them having any success. You don't see them sharing any success. You don't see their team having any success. And part of that is because they've been taught, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Traction marketing, don't put any of that stuff out there. But if I'm going to want to follow you, Blair, I'm going to want to know that what you're telling me has some basis in it. I mean, what does Robert say all the time? Something beats something. Documentation beats conversation, right? He doesn't say talk a lot beats everything else. So when I get up there and I'm talking on something on my lives, I'm passionate about what I'm talking about because I've done it. I've had success with it. And I've taken action. I've tried it. And even if the success is I tried something, I went out there and I took Maria's training tonight. And I went out and I joined a couple of groups and I commented with a couple of people and I got 2 friend requests. That's success. People want to know that. They want to know that. You're not just spouting off notes. You've taken action, you've had success, and now you have authority. And success isn't measured on how many. Success is measured on success, on the result. However small, however large it is. And eventually it gets larger and larger and larger. But you don't want to be that person that is all talk and no action and so forth. So And you want to be yourself. You're gonna mess up. You guys don't want to see my first lives. Probably don't want to see my lives now either, but you don't want to see my first lives, right? And I remember, and I pick on Carlos all the time because he didn't start doing lives until he got into this business. And if you didn't know that about him, he's the master at doing lives, right? He's great at it because he's consistent, because he is Carlos. He's not somebody else. He's not trying to be Maria. He's not trying to be Jessica or me or Aaron or anybody else. He's just Carlos, standing out in minus 600 degree cold. He's like the reporter sometimes that's standing out there, a hurricane coming by or something.
If I can add something to that.
Yeah,
Ron.
absolutely.
Yeah, because I completely agree with what Ron is saying. I think sometimes we just think too much about it, and we want to be so philosophical and like motivational and this and that. Like, just think about what you're passionate about. Even if it's watching The Bachelor. If you're a fan of The Bachelor, go join a Bachelor group and you might make some great connections with people that there's moms that watch The Bachelor, there's young entrepreneurs that watch The Bachelor, or whatever show that. I don't watch TV anymore. I used to be a big trashy TV watcher, but you can books. It doesn't have to be, Ray Higdon books or all that. You could be into Harry Potter or comic books or whatever you're passionate about. Just find your people. You will connect with them. You will make genuine connections with them, and it will all just fall in place. It just will.
And here's the biggest thing I can tell you. Smile. I mean, yes, there you go, Jessica. Smile. I mean, I would, we'll watch people on the team do lives and they get started doing lives. And I know when you're first starting, you're like, okay, and today I want to tell you about the 3 steps in combing your hair. Step number 1, bring the comb up here. Step number people need to feel your passion. They need to see when they're watching you, they need to say, yeah, rah, cheering you on. And they want to know that you're excited about something. If you're not, before you do your lives, get up. You know what emotion is? It's motion. I love that about Tony Robbins, boy. He's like, he's boom, boom. Oh, that hurts. But he's, you got to do that easier when you're old, right? Right, Laura? We got to do it a little bit easier now. Get up and move around. Before I start any of my lives, I'll go out and do something with Thomas, my little grandson. We'll make some funnies or watch. I mean, I get up and I get myself motivated. Now I'm usually a pretty happy guy, anyways. But I've seen so many people doing their lives and they're just I don't care what your topic is at that point. Your audience is not going to see. Blair's got a big smile on her face now. Your audience is not going to get excited about you. They want to relate. They are looking for something in their life right now that takes them away from all the politics, all the violence, all the nonsense in the world. And when they look at you on your TV station, they want to feel good about themselves. They want to feel good about you. They want to feel good. And if you're sitting there doing a live like you just lost your best friend in the whole world, I'm telling you. And then you wonder, I don't get it. Nobody showed up. And Carlos is a master at this. He's said this 100 times to people. Look at your profile, watch your lives, and then go, would I watch this? Some of you are going back, oh my goodness, no, I don't want to watch that. I don't, No, I wouldn't follow you. I wouldn't follow me anywhere. So just be excited. Find your passion. Find your vision. And let people know, man, that because guess what? People are going to reach out to you and want to join your team. Because they see that. They see that passion. They see that excitement. They see that something in you that they want to grab a hold of, that they want to follow, and they want to be a part of. Something that's bigger than them and bigger than you. because they see the life in you, the smile, the excitement. If you don't have that when you're doing your lives, I don't care what your subject is. You know, it's just not going to make it. So be passionate about what you're doing. And don't be passionate. Someone said to me the other day, well, Ron, I am passionate. It's just all on the inside. What does that mean? You know, what's on the inside better be flowing out on the outside, because I'm not going to believe you, to be honest. It better be flowing out. You know, if I get sick to my stomach, it flows to the outside. I'm just saying, not trying to be graphic, but it flows to the outside, right? So if you're passionate and you're excited about something, boy, it better be flowing out to the outside. When you talk to people, that's what makes saying as little to as many easy, because you're excited. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, are you open for this? Yeah, because I am on a mission, man. I got to get to the next person. If you're not open, that's okay. Love you anyways. We'll talk later. Hey, Maria, you open to this? Esteban, you open to this? Come on. Who's ready to go? So, all right. I've usurped enough of this. It's 7:45. So, but guys, get passionate and excited about what you're doing. You realize what we've got here, right? $600 million in revenue in 2018, and over 110 million of it was from our company. You understand what's going on with our company right now. You understand when it comes to timing, right place and right time, right? We couldn't be in a better place. The only network marketing company out there with the U.S. Hemp Authority certified seal, and the company that we've got an exclusive partnership with, Scott. So out of 13, 2 of them are ours. I mean, I don't know what else people could do. You know, put a sticky note on your forehead. I don't get it's, you know, to me, this is a no-brainer. If you're not excited about this, figure out what it is. And I'll leave you with this. Steve Jobs said this. No, it wasn't Steve Jobs. It was actually Confucius. And Carlos may even know this better, but I did some research on this the other day because it was bothering me, because I've seen some. Darren Hardy's been attributed to it. Tons of people have been attributed to it. But it's basically this. Find out what you have a passion. If you can do what you have a passion in your life, you'll never work a day in your life. I get up in the morning, and Carlos and I were talking about this morning. You get up in the morning, someone says, are you going to work? I'm like, work? I don't have to go to work. Oh, work? This isn't work? Yeah. I mean, how can you call this work? I get to sit here and chat with you guys, so this isn't work. Fall in love with what you've got, and you'll never work a day in your life. But you've got to fall in love with it first. If you're miserable, it's going to be work, right? Who is it? Dobie Gillis, Maynard G. Krebs, work. You guys probably don't. Some of you don't even. Bill, you remember that, right? So, all right, you guys, God bless you. Maria, thank you for letting us, jump on here with you. I am just so honored. Our team is like over 2,000 people now in 9 months. Can you guys imagine that? 2,000 people. You know what that means? That means we are impacting an incredible amount of people in life. We're touching so many lives. Always keep that in mind. With us not talking to people as being selfish, and we don't want to be that way. So God bless you guys.
All right. Thank you, Maria. You're amazing.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining.
God bless.
God bless you.
Thank you, everybody. God bless.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.
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 Good night. Say good night, Dick. Good night, Dick.
Night, Elizabeth. You guys probably don't remember the Waltons either. I know Billy does.
Good night,
Billy,
cowboy.
you're doing amazing. You are doing amazing, my friend. This is a guy. You guys, you need to talk to Billy sometime about not quitting and being consistent and staying the course. He's amazing. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Thank you.
Night, Jessica.